Welcome back to the Royal Sussex Squad, the place where we speak truth, we protect the legacy of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and we refuse to let the media rewrite history or spin lies unchecked. If you're tired of the same tired narratives from the same tired tabloids, you've found your tribe. This channel is for the people who know better, who see through the propaganda, who stand by Harry and Meghan not just because we like them, but because we respect the courage it takes to walk away from a broken system. Now today, we're diving into yet another pile of royal media spin, headlines calling Prince Harry a spare to Meghan, painting a so-called picture of loneliness, and suggesting he's unraveling after what they call a triple blow. Sounds dramatic, doesn't it? Like some Shakespearean tragedy. But when you peel back the layers, what you find is not truth. What you find is projection, bitterness, and a desperate attempt to diminish a man who has chosen authenticity over appeasement. So let's get into it. And believe me, this one needs unpacking. First, they're trying to push this narrative that Prince Harry is going through a week from hell, as if his world is falling apart because he stepped down as patron of Untitled, the charity he co-founded back in 2006. That charity was born from his heart. It was born from his experiences in Lesotho. It was born out of his deep desire to continue Princess Diana's legacy, serving vulnerable children affected by HIV and AIDS, giving them hope, structure, and dignity. Let's not forget, Untitled would not exist without Harry. Full stop. He didn't just sign a few documents and show up for photos. He built that charity from the ground up, along with Prince Seiso. He visited those communities. He raised money. He brought global attention. And now, years later, as he shifts his focus to other global initiatives, most notably the Invictus Games and Archewell, we're supposed to believe his decision to step back is some kind of fall from grace? Please, miss me with that nonsense. But what really takes the cake is the way Dr. Sophie Chandaka, the chair of Untitled board, decided to handle the announcement. Instead of a gracious goodbye, instead of acknowledging Harry's enormous contributions, she took it upon herself to accuse him of harassment and bullying. And not just that, she called out the Sussex machine. Excuse me? What is the Sussex machine? Is it a code word for independence? For success? For doing things outside the Crown's control? Let's be clear. These accusations are not based in transparency or integrity. They're part of the old playbook. Smear, distance, isolate. And they're targeting Harry not because he failed, but because he won't be controlled. The same energy they used against Meghan, vague accusations, no evidence, just character assassination dressed up as concern. We've seen this game before and we're not playing along. Now let's talk about King Charles. The media has been pushing the line that Harry found out through the media that his father was hospitalized due to cancer treatment side effects. And let's pause right there. That is not just a miscommunication. That's a message. The man is the monarch of the United Kingdom. You're telling me he has no aides, no private secretary, no way to call his own son? If Harry found out via news reports, that was by design. That is not a family breakdown. That's emotional warfare. Let's also not forget that back in February, when Charles's cancer diagnosis was first revealed, Harry immediately flew to the UK. He stayed just half an hour. Not because he was cold or distant, but because he wasn't welcome to stay. People act like he stormed out, but the reality is, there was no invitation to stay longer. It was a photo op for the firm, a moment to show the public. See, we're still family. While behind the scenes, the cold shoulder remained. And when Harry returned again in May, just 3 months later, the media tried to shame him for not visiting again. But did anyone ask if he was even invited? Did anyone ask if doors were open? No, because the royal press doesn't deal in facts. It deals in fantasy, in fiction, and in emotional manipulation. Then there's the ultimate insult, this idea that Harry is now a spare to Meghan. First of all, let's talk about the disgusting double standard that lives in that phrase. When Harry was a spare to William, it was royal tradition. It was destiny. It was noble. But when he supports his wife, suddenly he's weak, dependent, controlled. Let me tell you something. The only thing Harry is a spare to is the outdated monarchy that chewed him up, spit him out, and used him as a shield every time his older brother slipped up. He's not Meghan's spare, he's her partner, and they are building something together. A foundation, a family, a legacy that doesn't rely on taxpayer dollars or performative tradition. He's supporting Meghan's new brand, American Riviera Orchard, which by the way is already shaking up the lifestyle space, while she supports his work with veterans, mental health, and global activism. That's not weakness, that's teamwork, that's marriage. And frankly, that's what terrifies the monarchy. A royal couple, united and independent, thriving outside the system, that's a threat to the crown's illusion of power. Now the press wants us to believe Harry is lonely, that he misses his drinking buddies, that his only friends are the husbands of Meghan's friends. What a pathetic, sexist narrative. It's such a reach, it's almost laughable, if it weren't so insidious. They want you to believe Harry regrets everything, that he wants to crawl back, that he's isolated. But who benefits from that story? I'll tell you who. The same people who've been trying to isolate him from the moment he married Meghan. Because if he's happy, if he's secure, if he's free, then they've lost control. So they manufacture this image of him, wandering around Montecito like some sad prince looking for a pub. But you and I know better. We see the man Harry has become, a father, a leader, a founder, an author, a producer, a man with a voice, no longer silenced by palace walls or royal protocol. And now they're dragging Princess Eugenie into this, suggesting that even she has distanced herself from Harry, that their bond is fractured. Every time Harry gets too visible, the media scrambles to chip away at his support system. If they can't take him down directly, they try to discredit everyone around him. But let me say this loud and clear. Harry doesn't need the approval of the British press, and he certainly doesn't need the cold comfort of a royal family that shut him out when he needed them most. He has his family, Meghan, Archie, Lily. He has his purpose, his peace, his platform, and most importantly, he has the truth. And here at the Royal Sussex Squad, we're not going to let that truth be buried under clickbait and whispers from anonymous palace sources. We're going to keep defending what's right. We're going to keep lifting up Harry and Meghan's legacy. And we're going to keep calling out every bitter columnist, every petty headline, and every fake narrative that tries to make them look small, because they are doing something big. They are redefining royalty, not as bloodlines and protocols, but as service, leadership, authenticity, and humanity. And for that, they deserve respect, not ridicule. So if you believe in that too, if you ride with the truth, if you stand by this couple, not because they're perfect, but because they're real, then you're part of this squad. And we are only getting louder. Prince Harry dubbed spare to Meghan, after triple blow Prince Harry has noticeably had a week from hell. As the royal's relationship with a key family member has reportedly soured too, Prince Harry has experienced a challenging week with 3 major blows, including the fiery row following his exit from a charity he had worked so hard towards. Last week it was confirmed that Harry, 40, had made the decision to step down as patron at Sentebale, a charity that he co-founded alongside the Prince Seiso of Lesotho in 2006. The charity is very close to Harry's heart and was set up in honor of his mother, the late Princess Diana. His exit then led the charity's chair of the board, Dr. Sophie Chandauka, to publicly address some of her major concerns, even accusing the royal of harassment and bullying and hitting out at the Sussex machine. King Charles was admitted to the hospital suffering side effects from his cancer treatment last Friday, with Harry reportedly finding out through the media like the rest of the world. Harry previously flew to the UK when news of his father's cancer diagnosis was made public in February 2024. He only managed a half-an-hour visit before traveling back to his wife and 2 children in the US. During a visit just 3 months later, in May 2024, Harry didn't make time to visit his family. He concentrated on his work with the Invictus Games before flying home to California. There have also been numerous reports that the Duke of Sussex is lonelier than ever. A source told The Sun, first he was a spare to William, now he's increasingly looking like a spare to Meghan, and it's not a great look. He misses his family terribly, but no one is speaking to him anymore. He just wants to go for a beer with the guys, but his only friends are just the husbands of Meghan's friends. Whilst Meghan is busy with the launch of her new brand, as ever, reports have suggested that his relationship with his cousin, Princess Eugenie, has soured. Thank you for being here, for listening, for standing up to the noise. Make sure you subscribe to the Royal Sussex Squad, because here, we don't just follow the story, we challenge it. Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this with a fellow Sussex supporter, and if you want to help us keep this channel thriving, go ahead and click that super thanks button. Every bit helps us fight the smear campaigns and elevate the truth. Until next time, stay proud, stay fierce, and stay Royal Sussex strong.